how do I share screens?
Click
Down on
on
down on the bottom.
present,
Yep.
share screen. It's easier to share a Chrome tab if you're going to be doing audio. If you're not, then you can do window or entire screen, but just be careful what you show. Ah, yes. This is a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to start with this because this feels like this is the biggest thing to happen in at least the last week in anime. Like, I love covering anime news because it just seems like there's always something going on.
And something good to talk about sometimes, most
Yeah.
of the times.
Oh, I
And
know.
with as much as going on in anime, how many different series a season, it is nice to. It is easy to cover. So yeah, there literally is something going on all the time.
Yeah, and I'm excited about this. I'm skeptical, and I'm very curious at what a modern audience is going to, or how they're going to take Ranma. But I'm still excited for it because it is a fun series to watch. Even though that I'm not the biggest Rumiko fan. I like starting your series, but I never seem to finish them. Not in a timely manner, at least.
You need to do the newer series of Yurusei Yatsura. It just finished. 55 episodes, and it was so good and so much fun, but that's a side story. But yes, this is a good one.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. The original Ranma and a half, it didn't actually finish.
The anime, no. Manga, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about the anime because I loved the anime, but I do remember having that feeling of I was kind of disappointed because it just kind of stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I know they did some OAVs later on, which I couldn't tell if they were continuing with the story or just redoing some or rehashing some old story or plot points from the
Okay.
anime.
but here they're I've heard they're talking about actually finishing it, right?
Yeah, I hope they do. I really, really hope they finish it because right now it's just a rumor. Like there's supposed to be an announcement on the 17th of July, which will
Mm-hmm.
be the official announcement. And apparently, some people have done some deep dives into Twitter or X and found that there is a unactivated account as of yet for the official Rama one half X page.
Ooh.
At least that's the rumor now. That's
Okay.
some of the stuff that I've been seeing going around. But yeah, I just wanted to, highlight this and get y'all's takes on it, and if y'all are excited for it. I'm excited for it. Like Ranma is a fun series, weekly series, and if it was even if it gets handled even half as well as Yurusei Yatsura has been handled, then I could see it being a very fun anime to watch uh, when it comes out, um, for each core that it comes out on.
I think it probably will because I did like the original. Now, if they stick to what it's supposed to be and not turn it into modern audiences, which if you really think about it, you would think that modern audiences would kind of like this as well
Oh yeah,
because it is the switch thing going back and forth.
in my original dive into this show, there were quite a few people closer-ish to my age bracket and probably closer to Clifton's age bracket who credited this show as helping them through their formative years and their struggle with the G dysphoria. And then whatever they chose to do as an adult, that's their business at that point. But you're right. There's a lot of things in this that are absolutely not for kids,
Mhm.
absolutely not for a modern audience. And it's precisely the fact of how Sautomi Ranma, let's see, hold on, it's been a while since I've heard the Ranma
Satome.
Sautomi. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How how they end up in these predicaments. That's one of the weird things, too. It absolutely lambasts everything Chinese, specifically Mao Zedong.
Mhm.
3, how Ranma doesn't like what's going on with him, but not afraid to use that side of it to get what he wants. So you got, the selfish pigs aspect of things and everything else. So I don't know how the modern audience is going to quote unquote handle this, nor do I really care. If they stick to the story, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. They don't need to tell every single story that Rumiko had. What they need to do is all the stuff that they did before, get the best of, because there's some stuff that's really funny and really great. Some of it that was like, get through the story, and just finish it. Get to the conclusion that we know that eventually happens, which takes forever for them to get there, but they need to finish it. And if they do that, I'll be perfectly fine with it. They don't have to change the time of when this happens. They don't have to do much of anything to it other than just make it. So that's going to be the question is, what are they going to do? And I do need to step away for just a second. I actually had a phone call come in on the business line that I need to call back and see what's going on. So be right back.
Oh, go right ahead. Yeah, I mean, Brandon's right. There's a lot that I think we can like you can watch the show for, and I'm really hoping that they do finish it because I didn't even know that it wasn't finished because the way that this show runs it's very much a slice of life, a
Mhm.
kind of weekly special with maybe a cross or a two-parter episode here and there to where they make sense. It does have an overarching story, but for the most part, you don't get a lot of storytelling except like maybe every fourth or fifth episode.
Yeah.
And that is actually just Rumiko's way of telling a story. Most of her uh mangas or animes are done in slice of life and she adds, I don't know if I would call it detail in with those stories because I don't really see that as detail, but there's there's a lot of things that she likes to explore with each and every one of her characters and it just always tends to be this kind of will he won't she type of story because I mean we have this with Ranma and Akane, then Inuyasha
Yeah.
and oh wow, I forgot her name. Um Kikyo. No,
Yeah.
not Kikyo.
Not well. Kikyo
Oh,
was the original. Yeah.
Kigome. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 there. Which cool thing about it is that I believe it was all the cast that was in Rama came back to do counterparts or what would could be considered counterparts in Inuyasha. Like you had the voice of Ranma doing Inuyasha, the voice of Akane doing Kigome and Kikyo, I think.
Hmm.
So, it's a nice little nod to the older series. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for some updated animation because anime has come so far since, the 80s and the 90s that it is getting harder, I think, when you get into watching newer shows to go back and watch shows from the 90s and the 80s, especially ones that weren't um there wasn't as much effort put into those shows
Yeah.
as some of the bigger names,
I, I I don't know. I'm an absolute fan of Inuyasha.
right?
I thought that was one of the like for me that's one of the greatest animes out there. Like
It's
I don't see that it doesn't hold up.
Night of the Living Cat.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I like Inuyasha. Like, that was one of my go-to shows to watch at night when it was on Adult Swim.
Mm.
It had a really good, interesting story, but my thing is that I feel it went on too long, and that the plot just kept recycling. Like, they'd spend the whole season searching for Naraku. They'd do a couple fights. Inuyasha would get some kind of new power up for his sword, and then they'd find Naraku, fight him, and then he'd get away, and that'd be the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And that
It,
was
yeah.
every season. And I think that went for what, 7 or 8 seasons, maybe, and before we got to final act.
It yeah, it went on for a little bit, but and yeah, I do agree with you. Like that's basically what it was, but also like you said, Ranma is a huge part of it is slice of life. The same thing goes for Inuyasha.
Oh yeah.
And just seeing the characters interact and yeah.
Yeah, it's Rama to me is actually funny that Rama is both the male protagonist and the female protagonist. Kagome takes a back seat when there is a female Ranma story going on.
Mhm.
And it's almost like they're more sisters or best friends in a lot of the episodes than, supposed to be betrothed or in a relationship. It doesn't come through as much as that, like, their relationship is very much that what would you say, about 12, 13-year old type of relationship, where it's like, I like him, but I don't want to tell him that I like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's definitely
they're more baser uh personalities show through than the romance side of it.
Yep.
But
I agree.
yeah, I think that's enough talking about that. I just wanted to bring it up. I think this is really good, fun news, and I'm hoping for the best for it. I really, really am.
Yeah. No, I'm rooting for him.
Let's see. I actually have clips using StreamYards, but I don't know which one to use.
Hmm.
Uh, let's do this one.
It's about a brother and a sister that fuck.
Big brother, I want you to give me your big, juicy, thick and drench me with your hot, sticky until I'm gasping for air there. I fucking said it.
Oh. Shit. Okay, I wasn't
Uh,
expecting that. Oh.
I don't hold back with the clips.